Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. Today we're going to look at monetization in Star Citizen and what are the expected plans after release, some potentials of what CIG may do to keep the persistent universe servers running for the long term. Star Citizen has been a massive crowdfunding success, generating hundreds of millions of dollars, over $218 million in fact at time of recording, and that doesn't include subscriptions, sponsorship deals, investments. Star Citizen would not have grown in scale or been this popular without the way it monetized the game. The project currently generates funds from RSI subscribers, which help support the creation of content like Around the Verse, Reverse the Verse, Star Citizen game packages with ships, Squadron 42 Episode 1 sales, UEC, the in-game currency, although at the moment I expect very little sales are made on that, flair and general sort of like items for in-game, merch, tickets to events, some in-game bits like hangars and land plots, but it's mostly concept ships and vehicles and general sort of like vehicle and ship sales, as well as upgrade kits and modules. Once the year gets going, because they sort of like pause at the beginning of the year, there's typically a concept sale every 6 weeks. Concept ships create a lot of hype, and limited time sales of rarer ships also create artificial scarcity and generate a lot of income for Star Citizen. They also sold 10% of the company for $46 million. This money is supposedly earmarked for advertising, as Squadron 42 Episode 1 is potentially going to get released in 2020. So they want to get that sort of like mainstream advertised, which will help them generate a lot more money from sales of Squadron 42 Episode 1. A constant question that has been asked is, how will they generate money to maintain Star Citizen servers and constant updates post-release? And the term release is a bit more complicated with Star Citizen at the moment, as the current plan is to release a major patch every 3 months indefinitely for the persistent universe. So when I say post-release, I sort of mean when the game has a good amount of content and features and a portion of its gameplay area all complete, and there are no more resets. The game's alive. They have said a few things previously, and I had a couple of interviews with Aaron Roberts, one last year, where I talked about this in a bit more detail, which I will link below. Aaron believed at that time that by selling game packages and UEC, the in-game currency, they could keep Star Citizen's persistent universe going post-release, but he said they will explore other monetization options if needed. I'd like to identify what they probably will be selling post-release though, and expand that list out, because there's probably quite a few other things that would be going on there, even if they based most of their money on game packages and UEC. And I'd also like to talk about some things that other people have mentioned that they could do, and some things that they probably shouldn't do. So we know that they'll probably be selling Star Citizen Persistent Universe game packages, the game's Squadron 42 Episodes 1, 2, and 3, the in-game currency, UEC. This is supposedly going to be regulated to a certain amount per day or week or something though. That taking voluntary RSI subscriptions for continued community content seems reasonable. They'll be adding new features, they'll be expanding out the gameplay area, there may be new ships, merch and tickets to events will probably be sold. They also will be making money from any brand deals they get, like Star Citizen HOTAS, Saber Ravens with Octane drives, the Faceware FOIP cameras, things like that, and there might be more in the future. So what are some of the other things that might make that list? Ships. So they've basically said they plan to stop selling ships at some point. However, Star Citizen looks like it's going to be releasing new content every 3 months indefinitely. I do think that they will eventually limit ship sales outside of purchasing packages, as they can literally pass the torch to selling their in-game currency, UEC. That's effectively the same. That allows you to buy things in-game. I think there's a much greater possibility, though, that they will continue with concept ship sales and vehicle sales beyond what they've already planned, even after release. So potentially having backers being able to throw money to get a ship idea into the game, and then those people get that ship once it's completed at its earliest possible stage. Obviously, they have to make sure that any ships they make aren't just better versions of something else. They go, well, this is the new heavy fighter. It's better than all other heavy fighters. They need to make sure that they don't just keep on overpowering new and newer ships. Sort of like in a similar way to what Warframe do, where you can get the latest Warframe Prime without earning it because you can buy it early. This does have to be balanced and thought about, though. Obviously, they can't just go, we print money, ship skins. So we will have the ability to customize our ships in-game with various colors and potentially some other customization to show how we feel and have silly furniture around the rooms and things like that. But I foresee a market with very intricate skins that could be sold for real money. If you want a dragon wrapped around your ship or something like that, something looking really, really cool that an artist has spent a long time making, then they could probably sell that. Flair and cosmetics in general as well. They sell Flair now. It's very possible that they will continue this into the distant future. Other cosmetics would be an idea for the game. They are well used in many others. People like custom flashy weapons and suits of armor, especially in MMO sandbox type games. This could have things like aesthetic pets as well. We know that pets are supposed to be a stretch goal. If they make them cool and purchasable, yeah, that could work. They could sell more of the company if they wished, though that wouldn't generate the business more money as regular income. It would just give them capital to use for things like advertising to then potentially make more money. Something that's been discussed mostly by backers is other subscription-based models for the game. Some have suggested something similar to EVE, so like premium subscriptions, bonuses for being subscribed. That could take many forms. It's unlikely, however, that this would ever gate entry into the game or give major advantages, and Star Citizen probably wants to avoid this if possible, but isn't ruling anything out for the future. I know a lot of backers would be quite happy with a voluntary in-game sub for small bonuses beyond the current subs for community content model. Ads in-game. This was something that I saw and I've talked about before. Companies could have real advertising space in the game and have a company done in lore. So it would be Star Citizenified. The idea here is that you could have cool immersive ads from places like AMD and Intel and Coca-Cola or whatever that are true to the Star Citizen universe, that are very high quality, but also generate money for Star Citizen based on some form of deal, ad revenue or whatever. And it wouldn't like be displayed all over your screen when you're like loading the game up. It would be in Port Olisar on posters or on your Mobi-Glass if you were browsing a certain page or something. So it would all be done tastefully in-game. And those companies would have a real in-game presence in some way as well, or at least they'd be featured in lore as existing. There could be some issues with countries in the real world not liking this kind of advertising, though. I know Australia doesn't typically like things like that, so there might be problems. Pay to win! Does the selling of currency and ships make this game pay to win? Well, we don't know for sure for the future, which is why we do need to keep CIG honest. But if you define pay to win as any advantage by using real money, then yes, it's for sure going to give you a time advantage. However, everything will be obtainable in-game. This type of pay-to-win element does not break games like EVE or Warframe and stuff like that, so bear that in mind. I don't think that we're going to have a trash game because of their monetization model, personally. However, I swear to God, if I see anything like a loot box in this game ever that's not a joke or around April the 1st or part of a mission that pokes fun at them, I will implode. Game sales of Star Citizen and Squadron 42 are likely going to make them a humongous amount of money, and selling UEC as well may very well generate the game more than enough money to support it for the next 10 plus years. I'll give quite an extreme example as well. GTA 5, since its 2013 release, has sold more than 90 million units and generated more than $6 billion. World of Warcraft, although potentially now in its twilight days, has still around 1.7 million subscribers, and this jumps up typically when there's new content, but also it looks like they've made over $10 billion with WoW currently. So what I'm saying is that Star Citizen only has to do fractionally well as these games, and if it's any good, it will. And once that game is being sold, they stand to generate a butt ton of money. And when I say sold, what I really mean here is when it goes sort of like mainstream, once it's released, once it's ready. When Squadron 42 comes out, bam, that's going to be an on-the-shelf sort of like release. People will purchase it because it's ready, it's done, and hopefully it's good. And same with Star Citizen, once it's got sort of like no more resets, it's much more mainstream and purchasable and playable by the masses. Some backers may see the continual sale of ships, even concept ones, as a betrayal. What's important is that they keep their backers informed of their plans and actively discuss any potentials with the community, especially if it involves something that's entirely new or potentially controversial monetization-wise. And Star Citizen has grown to the size it has because of its community, because of the way they've done a lot of their content, and because of the appeal of the game with its massively detailed, huge gameplay area, sort of like universe that it now has. I am interested in what you think they will monetize in the game after release, what's appropriate, what's not, how much you think things could be. Please share your opinions in the comments below. I did also see on Reddit that there was a weekly discussion about monetization, which I will link down below as well, so you can get involved with that. Every month we have a Star Citizen ship giveaway for February. It's for a Cutlass Black and Star Citizen game package. All you need to do is be subscribed to the channel and comment on any of my videos made during the month. If you don't have a gaming PC yet, or you are upgrading, instead consider Shadow Cloud Gaming. They allow you to leverage the powers of the internet to stream a high-spec Windows 10 environment to any other PC, Mac, or device like a smartphone or tablet. It is working really well in Star Citizen's 3.4 branch, and be sure to use the code BoredGamer if you do decide to check it out to get a discount. Links below. This channel exists because of its community. If you wish to support the channel further, below there are links to Patreon, Subscribestar, and there's the YouTube channel memberships, literally the join button below this video. VIPs do get some exclusive stuff and early content as a thank you as well. If you have any feedback, suggestions, or just want to say hi, please drop a comment below or poke me on discord.gg/BoredGamer. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the verse.